How do you cope with being treated like you are crazy for following COVID safety guidelines, when others around you aren't doing the same?
It's like driving a car, and the other drivers aren't being safe. You keep your distance, try to stay positive, and try to understand that everyone has different levels of risk tolerance, understanding of the rules, etc., and that the best you can do is keep yourself safe and not contribute to the problem. Getting upset, or wanting to personally intervene to police other people's behavior is perfectly understandable, but it probably won't help. It might even make things worse.
Mostly quesadillas.
Just keep doing your thing and keep yourself safe. The others will have to find out the hard way if they get it. This should have never been politicized in the first place.
I wear a hat in winter to keep my head warm. I treat a mask the same way. I don't care what other people think, and I have become so used to having a mask with me I feel uncomfortable without one.
I get upset, but you only get to pick so many battles in life. I work in a pharmacy and I'm pretty fascinated by COVID, so I'm constantly reading about the virus, treatment protocols, vaccines, etc. When I smell people trying to be beep about the whole thing, I usually rattle off some of the more interesting things I've read lately, and they usually reply with some stupid conspiracy theory, and I just tell them I can't go down that rabbit hole with them. Also, while I have the platform, hey, you beep idiots, the government is pouring billions into facial recognition. A mask is your best defense against COVID and restoring your privacy. Beep idiots.
I embraced a long time ago that everyone else thinks I make no sense.
I cope by not having to go to the ER because of COVID symptoms.
My wife's a nurse, and she's working more now than ever because, what a beep shock, there's a shortage of nurses because they keep getting sick from AS swipes like this. And I have no beep problem telling them this. If you don't practice social distancing or wear a mask and you get sick, I think you should be banned from going to a hospital. Because your beep stupidity, arrogance and overall selfishness is literally putting the only people who can do anything about this beep at risk. Die in your beep house alone, asshole. Keep my wife out of your crap. And the irony, if my wife read this she would be super pissed at me. Because unlike all of you assholes who refuse to wear a mask and practice social distancing, she's a good person who has, and will continue, to put herself at risk to help people.
Heard this from someone else just say, apparently I care about you more than you care about me.
It's harder when it's people I love who are not being careful, such as still hosting holiday gatherings, seeing each other indoors without masks, etc., and then writing me off as the shrill one when I bring any of it up.
A friend of mine kept saying it was a hoax, overblown, no worse than the flu, etc. He was hospitalized for a week and been out for almost a month now and still can't breathe right.
I just happily agree. Yup, I'm paranoid. Yup, we are all crazy. No, we still won't get together with you, because I'm so paranoid and crazy. And yes, I still wear a mask every time I go outside, because I'm so paranoid and crazy. The top priority in a pandemic is to survive it without getting sick. Period, full stop, end of story. Let everyone else think what they think. Just do what you need to do to keep yourself safe.
I live in rural Indiana and hardly anyone wears a mask or distances. I go about life the same way I always do, honestly, stay in as much as possible, and when I'm out I pretend they don't exist. When I do get snide comments I just ignore them and carry on with my day.
In public I wear big over-ear headphones. At work when people say insane conspiracy beep I laugh at them. It's the only response I've found that shuts them up. I tried to explain and discuss the facts, but once I realized that was never going to work I just started laughing at them, and I mean at them.
Well, one factor is that I am crazy, like DSM-3 levels of neurological distinctiveness, chronic and severe. To me, this is just an update. The paranoid anxiety I have always experienced is real. Now, most people aren't used to their reality appending suddenly, so it upsets them more. To me, this is the world swimming in the waters I grew up in, constant fear, uncertainty, no reliable guidance or expertise that is consistent or trustworthy, people ignoring what they don't want to believe so they can have the reality they want. From my perspective, the asylum just got bigger.
I'm feeling some sort of mix of everyone around me is stupid, I wish I could do fun family things like everyone else is, and I must be losing my goddamn mind. Literally everyone else in my life is playing fast and loose with the safety guidelines except my grandparents, because one of them is a retired respiratory therapist. friends and family I previously thought of as smart, caring individuals are going on vacations, dates, or whining about mask policies, meanwhile looking down on me because I've found a way to not return to my beep tourism job and still pay my bills. My kid's pediatrician encouraged getting their hair cut at a salon and taking pictures with Santa this year. I'm about to spend $40 to drive through a park with Christmas lights in an attempt to give my toddler some sense of a normal holiday after feeling like I robbed him of a summer of fun, which I did, because every time I even took him to the grocery store, strangers tried to touch him, after sticking to Stry. Court isolation, mask wearing and cleaning habits since March, I'm simultaneously worn out and reinvigorated. I honestly don't think I'm superior in any way to the people around me, but this beep is starting to feel like some basic Darwinism.
I remember seeing a tweet that reads something like this, paraphrasing. Even if the pandemic turns out not to be a big deal, and we really are all sheep, I'll be content knowing I was a sheep by caring for other people and wearing a mask. This stuck with me and makes me glad to follow guidelines.
I just look at them for what they are, beep idiots. I hate to be that crass, but it's true.
I'm a middle school teacher. So far at least half the staff have contracted the virus at some point this year. Every week another child has to quarantine or tests positive. I had to call my grandmother, who is in the beginning stages of Alzheimer's, and explain that I've not felt well and have been exposed multiple times at work. All she wanted was for me to bring my puppy with me to dinner for Thanksgiving. Turns out I'm the only family member not going, and I'm the family scapegoat, so I'm sure tomorrow I'll have to deal with the phone calls and texts of how it's not a big deal and why wouldn't I just come, and reminders that I missed Easter too, and I'm out of antidepressants.
I find comfort in knowing I'm not a narcissistic dickface.
A healthy dose of depression.
I don't know, it's hard. I feel helpless a lot. Feeling so isolated is getting to me, and I honestly can't remember the last time I've dealt with so much suicidal ideation, but then I think about how I would feel if I chose to shirk my responsibility to the community, and my choice created an unnecessary risk for others, and I know that the shame, guilt and isolation from that would be significantly worse, so I keep pushing on, venting to my loved ones and trying to also support them. I am also in the really cool position of being able to watch my children absorb and adjust so flawlessly and so selflessly to this current state of the world. We don't give these kids enough credit, we really don't. They are carrying this society right now and just displaying such an incredible level of grace and flexibility. Not just mine but most children. They are struggling, too, but just in a way that is so innocent, so devoid of politics or bias compared to the adults, and they are discovering strengths and abilities within themselves that I think most adults should really admire. I'm proud of these damn kids and they keep me going.
Other people at work seem to make fun of me and make a big gesture about putting their mask on correctly when I come around. This is because I was a squeaky wheel to their boss about them wearing them incorrectly before. Now when they act like that around me, I just don't react because obviously I got what I wanted.
I tend not to go out at all, and I have enough people around me who I care about who follow the rules too. Those who mind don't matter, those who matter don't mind.
By reminding myself that my actions are keeping others safe, and those who choose to go about life just as before are simply selfish and self-centered. My circle of friends has shrunk by quite a bit over the last few months. How you choose to act during the pandemic speaks volumes about your character, or lack thereof.
Okay, Boomer, you're way out of it. Always.
May your day be filled with joy and happiness. And please remember to like, share, and subscribe for more quality content every day.